JB, either of the FA Youth Cup, another FA Youth Cup campaign for the under-18s. How much are you looking forward to getting this one underway at Northampton on Chenecks?
Yeah, definitely. It's something that all the boys are really excited about. Again, I've tried to emphasise this week that for us it is another game, and we can't get too ahead of ourselves. It's really important that we focus on what's to come, and the processes and everything that they've gone through this week have been really good. Boys are in really good spirits. I think there's a real buzz and an excitement from all of them, even in training today. I think they're looking forward to that exposure tomorrow in the FA Youth Cup.
Like you said, you'll certainly be approaching it and tell them to approach it like any other game. But there is something a little bit special with the FA Youth Cup, prestigious competition. All the big clubs are involved in it. We've seen some fantastic players over the years come through and win this competition. It's obviously been a competition that a lot of our players that have gone on to do well have played in as well. So there is an important element to it, and I suppose the lads will have that at the back of their mind as well. Yeah,
definitely. We set some goals at the beginning of this season. In our performances in cup competitions, which we've started to show in the League Cup, what we're doing in the league and also in this. So what we want to do is we want to progress. We want to try and go further than we did last year, which is a goal that all the boys set at the beginning of the season. And it is an opportunity for them to be put on a stage and be put into a position where it's a performance. It's not just about the development. The development comes from being in the tournament, but it has to link in with the performance as well. So, it's something really good for all the boys to be involved in. If they're starting on the bench, being involved in the prep before it, they've had a few bits of exposure, even the first years already, to playing in front of a crowd when we did it against Newport in pre-season. So they've had a little bit of a taste of it. This is just another stage of it where it's a 7:45 kick-off. It's an evening kick-off. You're playing a different ground, a different team that you haven't played before. So everything that links into that, it's another learning opportunity for them.
And without putting any more pressure on them, we've seen in previous years how it can provide opportunities for players to get noticed by the first team, and we've seen some players go immediately from playing in the FA Youth Cup to playing in the FA Cup for the first team. So there is that real opportunity. Obviously, I know the head coach is going to be there, Liam Manny. He's going to be keeping an eye on it. So, without putting any more pressure on them, this is a big opportunity for them.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to the point that I made earlier. We want to make sure that the boys focus on us. Even Tommy and Josh in their little interview, they said the same. We need to focus on what we do and what we do really well. Yes, we've got to be aware of Northampton ON Chenecks in terms of what they do, but it's really important that we stamp our authority into the game and also show what we're about, and that's individually and as in a collective, about how they impact the game, starting or coming off the bench, and how they're going to impact it off there. So yeah, definitely.
And obviously the added element of being a favourite, relatively level playing field in the league in terms of playing against similar sized clubs, but in a competition like this, playing against the side of Northampton ON Chenecks, who have earned their way to this round of the competition, but expectation on your side to go there and get a victory, which just adds a little bit another element to them.
Definitely, and I think that's something where, again, what we talked about, they've got to keep level-headed in terms of what we're doing. There has to be a process in terms of the way that we play, what we're about and what we're trying to do. Those little pressures that are added on, that comes with being a footballer. If that be playing in the first team and getting points on a Saturday in the league, or getting through a round in the FA Cup or FA Youth Cup like we're playing tomorrow night, I think it's really important, and the boys remain focused on what they have to do on the night, and doing the brilliant basics really well is going to be a massive part to that as well.
There's always a nice symmetry, isn't there, that it happens on the same weekend that the first team are playing the FA Cup as well. I always think that's quite special. In terms of your squad, how's it shaping up? Have you got many available? Have you got obviously some of the guys that are in around the first team that the fans will be aware of? Are they likely to be involved?
Yeah, definitely. So there's going to be a couple that have been around the first team quite a lot this season. Even just from a training point of view, they're going to be playing in it tomorrow, so it gives them their experience. Some of the boys that have been playing all the way through the season have unfortunately had to take a step back for those stepping in, but that's part of football. So yeah, we've only got one player missing for tomorrow, unfortunately, due to an injury. So that gives an opportunity for someone else. So we're going to have an under 16 stepping up. He's going to be told this afternoon that he'll be involved in the squad. But other than that, we're pretty much at full strength for tomorrow evening's game.
And finally, we touched on it. You were watching the interview with Josh and Tommy. Really pleased with how the season started. They are, I imagine, as well, from your perspective, you've been pleased with how the team have approached this season, not only just in terms of results, but the performances, and also the way in which they've got through some of the games. And You talked on the cup game in terms of winning on penalties. They've shown a lot of character and a lot of professionalism this year.
Yeah, they're a really exciting group from that point of view. They're very close together, first years and second years, which you don't always get because second years are focusing on other things that are coming up, and the first years have embedded themselves well. One of the things that I have noticed, apart from a couple of blips this season that we've had, which is going to happen, and that's part of youth football, is that, like you've already mentioned, the character that they've shown in moments where they've either been behind or being put under a pressure of playing extra time and coming back from being a goal down. They've shown tremendous amount of character and resilience within those moments, and I've been really pleased with them so far, but there's so much more to come from them. But as long as they, I keep on saying it as well, that message, as long as they do the things that we do really well on the night, I think we've put ourselves in a really good position for tomorrow night.
I said finally, but one more. How important will it be to see a number of Dons fans down there? We've always, the FA Youth Cup's always been quite well supported by our fans, but how important will it be to see some fans there? It's not too far away, obviously, being in Northampton.
Yeah, it's definitely not Plymouth like it was last year, but I know there was a couple that came down for that, so I was really appreciative of that. But tomorrow night, playing in Northampton, I'm hoping to see some faces down there, and looking forward to them coming down and seeing how the 18s get on in that. And exactly the same as any other opportunity, if we're playing at Woofton or anything, it will be great to have them down there as well.